Good afternoon. Welcome to the ALM virtual makeup training. My name is Roland O'Daniel. I am the CEO at the Collaborative for Teaching and Learning, and we are the authors of the Adolescent Literacy Model, or the ALM model, that you are participating in. You can see that we have a virtual training or a website set up to do this. So let's take a dive into the different tools you're going to be using during the day, during the course of this virtual training, and what it might look like and how you can navigate it. You'll see on the site that you have 3 days of content. It doesn't necessarily take 3 days. Depending on what you missed, you'll be making up specific components of the training. There's a website, a Google site that houses the primary materials. You'll see on the home page some information from us. You'll see this video that I'm making now here, and you'll see the different tools. We use 5 main tools. The Google site is the home base, and that's really where you're going to spend most of your time. Google Classroom also has a lot of the assignments that you'll complete, but that's not the only thing you're going to be doing. Padlet has several exit tickets and ways of engaging in conversation with participants. So you'll be doing some Padlets, and then we'll be using various Google tools, including Google File. Wow, that's easy for me to say. Google Docs, Google Forms, Google Slides, and so on. So here's an example of one of the things we want to do is get to know you a little bit. Even though we are working in a virtual environment, we want to do some business cards. So if you give us a little bit of information about yourself, that'll help us get started. And when you come down, you'll see a video about an overview of the ALM and the norms of collaboration that we use. But this is a pretty typical learning event that we will design for you or have designed for you. And then there's some information about the different tools we're using. With the virtual makeup training that you're going through now, you may or may not use Zoom. If you are working with a CTL EPS, educational program mentor, you'll set up a Zoom to meet with that person. If you're working with your home district literacy coach, you'll set up your debrief with that person, so you won't be using Zoom for that work. Anyway, this home page gives you a little bit of information about the process and the tools. Then you'll notice there's day 1, day 2, and day 3. If you click on the day, it'll take you to an overview of the day, what the goals are, what your to-dos are. And then when you click on the link, in this case, the literacy and the ALM, that overview, it'll take you to that learning event. And that has a getting started. There'll be some information here. There'll be an activating prior knowledge or some type of activating your thinking activity. In this case, it's a how do we define literacy? And that will link you to the Google Classroom and the document for that. Underneath that is the information. You'll also see that we're doing a professional reading inside of the guidebook. If you don't have a hard copy of the guidebook yet, check with your literacy leader and they'll work on getting you one. But inside of the Google Classroom is a PDF version of the guidebook at this point in time. You'll be given some specific instructions what to do as you progress through the learning event. After you've done the accessing new information, you'll come down to some type of processing activity. And then last but certainly not least, you'll be asked to do some reflection and connecting to your content classroom as we really begin to think about the content of the adolescent literacy model, but what does it mean for me in a classroom and how do I begin to think about implementing it in that work? So again, repeats with day 2, a little bit of an overview. Academic dialogue, writing to learn. Day 3 is vocabulary development and in review or in planning. So it's designed to take you through 4 of the main subdomains, give you an introduction to ALM and let you begin thinking about what does this look like in my classroom. So I encourage you to reach out to your CTL mentor, whoever that might be. It might be me or Jen or Ashley or Mindy. If it's not one of us, then reach out to your district person. It might be your district literacy coach. It might be the principal or assistant principal who's in charge of the work in your school, and they can help you get through all this or find the right person to ask questions. Good luck.